Welcome to Vinyl Verdict. I'm Bell.
I'm Jamie.
And I'm Adam.
And this is Adam's last pick. Adam, what are we listening to?
We're listening to Samurai by Lupe Fiasco. Do you guys, how familiar with Lupe Fiasco are you two?
Adam, I thought
songs.
Lupe Fiasco was a woman.
That's it.
What?
So stunningly unfamiliar with Lupe Fiasco.
You may as well just say you had no idea.
I was convinced that Lupe Fiasco was a pop singer and a woman, not a rapper.
How long have you been aware of the name Lupe Fiasco?
About 20 years.
Okay.
What? How?
I've never actually listened to any of his music. I know now that he is a rapper. I've never sought out his music before.
That's crazy. You've missed it because Superstar was huge back in like 2008.
That's interesting.
I've only listened to Superstar, Kick Push, and Dots and Lines. Those are the only songs I've ever heard by him. But all three are bangers.
Yeah. So he really blew up back in the early 2000s, kind of through his collaborations with Kanye West.
He was on Touch the Sky.
Yes. And he then, through that, getting that kind of attention, released a pretty huge and commercially successful album called Food and Liquor. And after that, he kind of failed to maintain mainstream momentum over the next 10 or so years. He had a couple of less celebrated follow-ups, less successful projects, with a pretty bad turn for the album Lasers, which was like this kind of turn into like EDM and big room type
Did that
beats.
come out around 2011?
Yes.
Wow.
And it felt and so that was kind of, I'd say, where he fell off. But also I think that there's been a change of styles and the kinds of rapping that is popular anymore. Like, you don't have the kind of boom bap and conscious hip hop that like was popular at the start before the bling era came in. And then also, or I guess kind of around the same time as the bling era, and then as trap has kind of come in, heavy pen game rappers are kind of falling in the background. But he's maintained an incredibly high reputation as one of the best MCs and lyricists to ever do it at this point. And Samurai is a continuation of that trend of him proving that he is one of the best to ever do it.
Yeah.
This album came out last year in 2024 and has been in the works for about 9 years. It was inspired, and this is kind of the crazy thing, is it's I when I first heard this, I thought people were making a joke. What this album was inspired by. The album Samurai was inspired by a quote from the 2015 documentary from the film Amy, where the film subject, Amy Winehouse, told her producer, Salam Remy, "I keep coming out with battle raps, and they're just pouring out of me like Wu-Tang stuff, but really neat, very beautifully alliterated little battle raps. So the next time you want to come for me and have a battle rap off, I'm going to kill you, because I'm a samurai."
Epic.
And Lupe Fiasco was like, wow, what if Amy Winehouse became a battle rapper?
Gifted battle rapper.
A gifted battle rapper.
A possessed battle
A
rapper.
samurai
Yes.
of the rap game. And worked on this album slowly over the course. It really started off as just a single track, but as he was working on other projects and developing stuff, he kind of kept working on this in the background, and it culminated into a 31-minute, 8-track album that we're listening to today. Across the album's 8 jazzy tracks, all produced by Soundtrack, Lupe tackles the trials and tribulations of trying to have a career as an artist. It's really interesting how he uses lyrics to both reflect his own experiences as an artist, contrast them with the story of Amy Winehouse, as well as this like fictionalized idea of her being a battle rapper, and also acknowledging her as a talent that was gone too soon. And through that lens, he uses it to analyze like the harshness and coldness of the music industry, the difficulty of staying true to yourself, and the importance of like your legacy. What it blows my mind about this album is that you could go into this not knowing it's about Amy Winehouse and still take away a pretty strong narrative about a guy who is gifted with the skill of rapping from a mysterious figure, and then goes on to be a successful battle rapper and reckons with how that affects his life.
Yeah, I think that's the only downside of the story is it does lose some of it pretty quick. Like the first 2 songs, it's like she did this, her, it's very clear he's talking about a woman going through all this, and then it fades into him just talking about just general stuff. I kind of wish it stayed on the more specific a little bit more.
I think it kind of picks up. I'd say like it's very strong thematically for the first 3 tracks. 4, it gets more metaphorical. Like 4, 5, and 6 are more metaphorical, and then in the last 2 tracks, it really comes back around to being thematically about kind of concluding the story.
We covered an album a couple of years ago, and it almost made Plouffe quit, but the story in it was that like a magical thing happens to a guy and he goes on an adventure.
What album was this?
That's The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway by Genesis. And this album reminded me of like the weird like fantastical story of that, where like something magical happens to someone and then like a whole bunch of odd events happen to them right afterward. And so like the first 3 tracks, I was like, hey, this is like The Lamb Lies Down on Lupe Fiasco.
Scared the crap out of my cat.
Well, fuck you. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was an interesting ride. But I agree with Bell. It kind of loses some of that plot about, 3 or 4 songs into it, where it just becomes like him singing about, or rapping rather, about how the music industry has affected him, rather than how Amy Winehouse, certified battle rapper, is navigating newfound fame as a successful battle rapper.
I mean, I think it makes sense that he then retreats back to the troubles of the industry, because so much of Amy Winehouse's career was defined by the troubles of the industry. And how, like, especially someone like who struggles with being self-destructive when they get success, how that they tend to be able to throw it all away, or how like the industry is very cold and uncaring and will enable your worst tendencies and will also prey on you when you do screw up. And I think it's better that instead of imagining a fictional career that she didn't have, to reflect and see the parallels of your own career with her career.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what happens in the middle. As opposed to like, because I think if you leaned too far into a fictional tangent about a thing that never happened, about a dead person, it can get a little corny, a little cheesy. It might be even seen as a little disrespectful. Whereas to draw these parallels, I think that's honestly the baffling thing about this album, is that it's incredibly, for being an album that also mixes in a bunch of stuff about like Japanese culture through the concept of the samurai. And Lupe Fiasco is like trained in karate, and
his dad was like a master, wasn't he?
Yeah. So like he has a very close relationship with Japanese culture. So to be able to intertwine all of these very disparate elements in a way that's respectful and not contrived or corny is like
fascinating.
It's incredible. And I think it really shows how much respect and admiration that Lupe has for all aspects of this. Yeah, and I think it's a really cool, and it's tight 31 minutes, and it's really smooth. You can just put this on and vibe with it.
Yeah, I wish it was longer.
Yeah, I could listen to more.
I agree. Part of me wished it was longer, but other part of me thought it was the correct length. But it is very smooth, and there's some really nice background instrumentals in it. Like one of the tracks has a harp in the background, and it's really cool.
Yeah, lots of great saxophone.
Yeah,
and also mouth trumpet.
Yeah, that's. I was trying to figure out whether it was a real trumpet or not.
Yeah, I had no idea this came out in 2024. I would have assumed it came out closer to her passing. Like, it's been a while. But I guess I never really thought about Lupe Fiasco still releasing music, because I first heard him in like 2007. So it's like, oh yeah,
he's
made
been
more than just like singles.
He's been kind of in the underground now, releasing like consistent, pretty well received projects, especially in the past 10 years. But obviously not even close to the mainstream spotlight that he once had.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I enjoyed this album way more than I expected to. Like, I didn't think I'd dislike it, but I hadn't listened to much Lupe before, and everything I had was really old. So knowing that this had a concept too, I thought it was gonna be a bit more concepty. So I was like, I don't know, maybe I'm not gonna like it. But when you listen to lyrics, there's definitely a lot of lyricism around Samurai and being a rapper. But if you don't, it's just got great vibes. Like it really is just like Jamie said, so smooth. Lupe has such a great voice, and the pacing of his rapping varies up constantly, which makes every song feel really fresh and gets your head bobbing like in a different way every single song. I don't think it's the most lyrically crazy or gripping, but it sounds good, so I can't really complain. I don't think there are any. This is kind of what I said in the Joey Valence episode as well. Like I didn't think there was anything that really made me go like, "Oh hell yeah!" Like that was such a sick bar, but everything also was just good. Like he's just good at rapping. You know, he's rapping about mumble rapping and doing this kind of conscious rap thing. And some of the lines, I'm like, yeah, that's pretty good. Like 8 o'clock because you've left it behind. I was like, okay, that's kind of funny. But I don't think there was anything that was like, I need to tweet this out if it was 2011, you know. But I do wish it was longer because I like this vibe. I wanted to stay in it.
I will say, like, he doesn't have like zingers or super great, like super crazy punchlines, but it's more like the density of the rhyming and the flows, and as well as being able to tell a coherent story, because like he kind of has got like the same kind of like rhyme density as like an Aesop Rock and an MF Doom, but the digestibility of the lyrics is still very high.
Yeah,
you can
100%.
follow along. It's not so cryptic like
He's
an MF
also
Doom.
very understandable. You can hear every word that he's saying. And he's not over pronouncing it either. It's just like he's enunciating perfectly. You can understand and first listen.
And he's like laid back. He's doing like quite rapid flows with quite precise rhythms, but he says it so smoothly and so laid back that you don't even really notice the complexity of it. He's just like he's a masterful MC. Should we experience his mastery? Let's give it one last listen.
Let's do it.
Even computers losing memory, bending mentally when they interface with the lyrical ability. This one takes the cake. For our time to shine, come on. Lord, please bless my mansion of cards. If ever challenged, let us camp in the car.
The first track, over top of a boom bap beat with some synthesized strings, smooth horns, Lupe enters in. I'm a samurai. He's got ad libs and stuff, and then the melody comes in, which I was not expecting for such a rap forward album. Like I guess we really spent a lot of time in the intro talking about all the rapping he does. He also does a lot of singing on this album.
True, yeah. And
he's pretty good at it. A lot of the times when rappers do the singing, it's not very good, but
it's cringy, yeah.
He's quite soulful and skilled as a vocalist as well. And I also think that maybe this is more vocal of an album form, and it kind of is part of that, you know, tribute to Amy Winehouse's soulful affectations and music. But that first line that he sings is a direct quote from Amy Winehouse. I got these beautifully alliterated little battle raps for you.
He enunciates alliterated so good.
Alliterated.
Yeah, one thing I guess I didn't mention at the start, no swearing at all in the album.
No.
There's no need, which I like. He also like
he says a couple of slurs.
I don't think so.
He says the N word.
Yeah, he says the N word a couple
and I think he says the F word.
No, he says I'm smoking.
Yes.
He uses a cigarette.
Yes.
So he doesn't like say
he doesn't slur with it. He uses it. He's embodying Amy Winehouse.
I don't remember the N word at all, but I like that about this. It's like even when he's talking about his opponents, it's more like I've humbled them. You know, they're shocked. I won the battle. It's not really ever. You don't really ever hear the rap battles. You don't hear the insults. It's just like describing the events, which I do enjoy. And this is kind of the same thing where he's just describing this person going through their life before they've become a rapper. They have these ideas of raps, but they are not a rapper yet. The horns are just absolutely gorgeous on this.
Yes.
Really, really like it.
Saxophone.
Yeah, and then the Amy Winehouse integration into the chorus is just, it's so tasteful. So tasteful. So easy to listen to.
Yeah.
I love starting with the title track too.
Yes. in some respects, this album reminded me of something that like Common would have put out at one point.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, you feel like that.
Yeah.
I think like to just show like kind of the density of some of his verses when he goes like, if you analyze, she's a one-woman gala, glamorized, just without the glamour or the gala ties, met 'em all, live with the jazz guys, eating piano pies at the Vanguard. When you break it down, he's got references to like the Met Gala in there. He's got references to like Glamour magazine. He's got so many tiny little things that fill it up that if you really want to read into it, like you could dissect and pull apart the references and the density of these rhymes for a long time. But also it can just be like, wow, Amy Winehouse was really popular and she was very good at the time. And it's really cool. She was a glamour. She's an artist. She starved. She worked hard to get where she was. Like, it's just, it can be a clear story, but you can dig in to find those deep little, like, tidbits and references. And it's cool. And then she goes to bed at the end of the song. Read a book, took a bath, and went to sleep.
The
which
happy
is
ending for Amy Winehouse.
likely a reference to how she was to her passing, where she was found, she died in her sleep. And they assumed that they didn't check on her because they assumed that she was just asleep, but she had actually died of alcohol poisoning in her sleep. Which then we go into Mumble Rap, the next track, which in the framing of the album, I think is like a dream sequence. Of like, she's like in her dream, she's falling asleep, she's in this dream world, she's walking through a park, and some mysterious guy comes out and goes, yeah, and then she raps now.
Yeah, and he's like, it's the devil, effectively. Like, it's crazy.
Or
I
an
do
alien?
Because he's like, yeah, it's the first line is like, she wakes up, but let's go back a step, which makes it kind of seem like, yeah, we're talking about a dream, because we're talking about before she's woken up.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's an interesting concept. Being possessed by a ghost that curses her to only rap is kind of funny. It's a funny reason to get into battle rapping. If I listened to this, I wouldn't be like, this is mumble rap. This is Lupe Fiasco attempting mumble rap, which he hates as a conscious rapper. But, the chorus is kind of mumbly.
He mumbles the chorus. I think the
He's
idea is
still
that
such
it's
a good
mumble rap
enunciator.
because imagine she's laying in bed having this dream. And
So
she-
true. So true.
So I think that's the reference. And he's using a slightly aggressive, rude term to as a pun.
Yeah, I like the backing track. Kind of feels like a gorilla song. It's
Yeah.
chill. It's a little unsettling.
It's wonky.
Not too boring. It's not too quirky. Like to actually want to listen to it. It's pretty enjoyable. And with it being a dream, she wakes up to the default iPhone alarm sound at the very end of the song. It's annoying. It's so
the
long.
alarm?
Yeah, it's way too many
And
rings.
it's the iPhone
that
alarm.
makes me go, is my alarm going off?
Yeah.
First of all, I changed my alarm tones, but it's like 5 rings with a pause in between each one. So I truly go like, it must actually be my phone. It's so annoying.
Yeah. I hate him for that.
Do one or two. Do two. Two would get the
Just
point
make a
across.
different alarm. Make a not iPhone alarm sound.
Yeah.
Just like make it so that it's an alarm sound that like you can make an alarm sound and not have it be one that I'm very familiar with.
The Samsung one.
No, just don't make it a phone alarm.
I don't really think I understood the line and go Gagosian with the extra low end. Gagosian is an art gallery, and I don't understand what that means.
I think it's a reference to Low End Theory by Tribe Called Quest.
Oh, but what does Gagosian have anything to do with it?
What does it say on Genius?
It makes it even worse. It just says it's a reference to the Tribe Called Quest and not about the art gallery. So
I think because the beat, the way he's saying it is like it. I don't remember.
yeah.
I haven't listened to Low End Theory.
He's gonna go artistic. He's gonna go artistic. He's gonna be like an art gallery on this beat.
Okay.
Yeah, Jamie,
Fair.
come on, man.
Would be my guess.
Put that in Genius right now. You got it open? Put it in.
There's also that cool thing where he says, landed the Atlantic. I'm trying to find that exact line.
Yeah.
They vanished like a Superman abandoning the planet, but this was similar to finding landed the Atlantic on the low. It is so fun to read the lyrics to this album.
I'm gonna read in general.
Because I'm just like, wow, I feel like I can do it, even though I have not even remotely the skill to do it. But it's cool. Again, another dense line where he's like, Superman abandoning the planet, similar to finding land in the Atlantic on the low. Amy Winehouse's like record label she was like scouted and started with Atlantic. But she didn't really know what she was going to do. She didn't know how the label would treat her in the future. And while it felt like, oh, I finally got my big break, thank God I'm not just swimming in an ocean by myself. Turns out that things were going to be very different. On the next track, Cake, he really goes in. This is basically a braggadocious battle rap track full of disses and self-aggrandization. I imagine this as Amy Winehouse in a battle rap.
Yeah, well,
Isn't it after? She just won.
Yeah, she's celebrating her first victory.
Yeah, she won. This is better than anything else she's had. It's funny. It's almost like the Victory Lap last song you usually get on albums, where it's like, I'm the greatest.
Yeah.
Till Eternity still is like pretty positive and kind of a victory rap. But this one here being so early, yeah, I like the story of like, she's possessed. She's coming out of her first battle. She's like, I've done it. This is like better than anything else I've done. It's great. It's so positive. It's so fun. It's so uplifting. It scratches that itch really early on to get the energy up again.
Yeah.
Also, I don't think he ever refers to Cake as a butt in this track. He's only ever referring to it as literal cake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is heavy. The first verse is really heavy on alliteration, and the second one is very focused on ice and science, which is an odd focus, but cool. Lupe wants you to know he can rap. You know, the length and speed of some of the bars in this are nuts. Again, I don't think any really stand out, but it just flows so smoothly that it's so fun to listen to.
I really like the wordplay of vomiting and Vonnegut.
Yeah, vomiting the Vonnegut.
Yeah, that's really good.
It's so good.
Yeah, Kurt Vonnegut, very interesting dude. You should read up on
Also,
him.
pulling out the Janis Joplin reference, which is a great parallel between Amy Winehouse and the iconic rock performer.
Also died at 27.
Both overdosed at 27. Both owe a lot to black culture.
Powerful voice.
But also were very respected with black culture because they were so ingrained and like respectful of it, and they cared about it. Like Amy Winehouse was beloved, and one of her closest friends was like Nas. She worked with a lot of black producers and stuff like that, so she was very much like she was not just somebody who was taking a black culture and using it for her own gain. She had a deep respect. She was ingrained in it, and similarly with Janis Joplin. So it's a great pull, and also like just the Janis Joplin droplets, like the way he delivers it is so cool. I think the ending line is also wild. The Googling endlessly, even computers losing memory, bending mentally when they interface with the lyrical ability. I'm like, is so good. Also, an Acropolis, if you're gonna talk about an obelisk, also mixed with Christopher Wallace's topics on top of an obelisk that's a Kabbalist novelist inside my... It's just crazy. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. And the crazy part is that I'm like, oh, and this all makes sense. Because, like, a lot of the times you'll have rappers like MF Doom, who I absolutely love. This is no disrespect. He will put the most dense rhyme scheme in a verse, and it'll be crazy. But it doesn't really say that much. Or what it says is so cryptic that it's hard for me to parse. But this I'm just like, yes. True.
You don't have to, bring down MF Doom just to bring him up. I feel like it's really disrespectful.
Dude, I freaking love MF Doom.
Yeah, no, really fun. Really, really fun stuff.
Do you like the hook on this?
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah. Apparently some people do not like the hook. I think it's pretty good.
I think all of his hooks are really good in the song.
I didn't have any real thoughts on it at all. I thought it was pretty good. But, Palaces, though.
The song is basically a reflection on fame. It has a smoky, atmospheric beat with a solemn piano and kind of background vocals, who I think are actually also Lupe. As far as I know, there are no features on this entire album. So I think he actually also does all the vocals, unless there's a sample, but it doesn't sound sampled. But I can't really speak to it. There's this cool, each verse in the track covers a slightly different perspective and a different place. The verse 1 is a castle of sand.
The Palace of Cards.
Verse 2 is a mansion of cards. Yeah, mansion of cards. Yeah. Verse 3 is a palace of bones. And they all relate to kind of like
the fragility,
the vanity and illusion that comes with fame, while acknowledging your human frailty that's present.
Yeah.
And that fame doesn't make you special. We're all able to fail unless we can find it within ourselves to support and go on and be humble.
Sure.
And this is just one interpretation. You could take another, like that's like applying it in the broad sense. I think if you really dug into the lyrics, you could find more specifics to Lupe Fiasco as well as Amy Winehouse.
Yeah, I understood it to be like the author realizes the fragility of their own fame.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like in the first verse when he says, "Want a forest, gotta water some plants. Normally ignoring the branch is par for the course. But when you hold a culture, you can't parkour over a part. You gotta march forth over your art and for your fans." When he goes ignoring the branch and then he says hold a culture and it sounds like he says horticulture, like
it's good.
That's big brain stuff.
Like
that's
that.
crazy.
Yeah, this has to be my favorite chorus on the album. I love the laid back vibe to it and this realization that though he's talented, he's still just a mortal, fallible being. The message of talent versus hard work is prominent. I like the idea of if you want a forest, you got to water some plants. When things get tough, you got to brace it, take it head on. Just really good. The backing track through the whole song is excellent. The piano, the subtle vocalizing, the drum pad work is tight. The glitchy piano at 255 before the beat switch is great too. Mm-hmm. The more intense beat at the end is solid. I prefer the first chunk of the song, but I feel like the switch up at the end is not bad.
And it works thematically with the lyrics. And I agree. I do think I like the first vibe better. But it doesn't change the vibe so much that it's really jarring. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not like what's that one track, A&W, where it's like this beautiful like ballad by Lana Del Rey, and then the back half it's like this switch is like kind of this trap beat, which is a really great switch. Totally different usage of it though, to be jarring and completely different. This is like smooth and emphasizes the verse. Yeah, beautiful track.
Yeah, I thought so too. Number One Headband's neat because that's a reference to Afro Samurai.
Yeah,
I've never seen that show, but this made me want to listen.
It's an anime too.
It's a cool show.
Yeah.
That was on Adult Swim. I think it was like
it was on Spike.
It was on Spike. You're right.
And they advertised for weeks that it was coming because Samuel L. Jackson came on the commercials because he was the voice.
He was the voice, and it was apparently quite good.
Yeah, I like the song kicking off with the floating little keys. The scatting made me laugh at first, but then I was like, actually, it's pretty good. Yeah, this whole idea of this two headband system. So to be the top samurai, you have the top two. Number one can only be challenged by the number two headband wearing person, and the number two headband person can be challenged by anybody. So there's this idea that when you're number one, you don't really have a big target on your back. There's only one person can attack you. But if you're number two, you have everybody in the world out for you, which is such a fun, even just rap concept. But yeah, it's really neat the way that they kind of explore that in this song.
This is where we get the voice, the mouth trumpet.
I was trying to play the game of like, is that a real instrument or is that someone vocalizing or whatever? Or?
It's not.
It's layered. It might be both, but it's definitely a guy going burr, 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 which I think is cool. I also think again it's that acknowledgement of jazz at the start, another like reference to Amy Winehouse. I think this also can kind of be seen as the part of like Amy Winehouse. Like you just had that pensive song that's reflecting on your fame and fragility, and this song is more about your determination to continue to be the best, to continue to produce the best art, and also has using the number one headband as another metaphor for fighting as a battle rapper, and also as like you versus the industry. It's a cool, it's very impressive how he can layer the metaphors through all of these songs and keep the thread consistent.
Yeah.
I think the beat on this track is phenomenal. And I'm not as I don't have any specific lyrics from this track. Farrah Fawcett gets a lot of name drops in rap.
Who is Farrah Fawcett?
An actress who passed away in like the 2000s, and I only know because it was a big deal that she passed away.
Amy, you're old. You know who she is?
She was in Charlie's Angels.
Okay.
But then later in her life, she became a pretty celebrated actress. I don't know. Does she just have a very rhymeable name? I think Farrah Fawcett flows really well. Right? It's just easy.
Oh, she was in the $6 Million Man, too. Oh, that's good. Cool. Anyway,
One day I hope to be in a $6 Million Man. I mean, like in my body with $6 million beside me.
That would be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
She was in Logan's Run. Oh, that's a good movie. Oh right, she was the one that had the long battle with cancer. That was a
Yeah.
big deal.
I remember it being a big deal and not knowing who she was, and then hearing a bunch of references because I thought Farrah Fawcett was a funny name because your last name being Fawcett. I don't know. What if you were like Daryl Spigot? Uh, but I just feel I just feel like she comes up in rap all the time, and it's probably just because she has a name that flows really well. But also clearly a deep legacy and a great career. We got a Vera Wang. Let it wang like Vera. It's a funny line. It's cool. Another great track. But I think that for me, the sleeper track on this album is the next one.
Yeah, Puts Me to Sleep.
Whoa.
Slow jam. Probably my least favorite song on the album.
Interesting.
I came around, so I agreed with you for the first like several listens, and recently I think I've come around on the track. I think I like the like marimba kind of line in the back on the beat. I think it's a very beautiful sentiment.
It's very deep bass on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think the questioning in the lyrics about like your future, talking about your struggles with mental health and stuff like that is really, really beautiful. And, you know, another great metaphor in the form of Bigfoot about like, it's hard. You can never really no one will ever be able to capture the real you no matter what. Right? Like the public will always get some blurry, hard to see image of who you really are. And I think that's really cool and really beautiful.
Yeah, it's fine. It's, you know, even though it's my least favorite song on the album, I don't think it's bad. I just don't find it as interesting as other songs. It's still a nice pace change. I ended up Googling who Andre Dawson is because I was like, oh, that's an interesting call out. And he's the first baseball player to win league MVP on the last place team. I was like, that's
crazy.
Yeah. Imagine being so good, he can literally be like, no, it's the rest of the team.
It's like Connor McDavid on the Oilers.
I don't know lacrosse. It's an interesting choice to slow things down between like this and the next song before the end of the album, but it's also, I guess, not very long. So I guess it makes sense just to group them together and then pull out to the end of the album. I'm not sure, but this song is it's fine. It's good. Jamie, any thoughts?
The chorus is really nice too.
I thought I really dig the beat on it. I really enjoyed the use of saxophone on it, but lyrically, I wasn't like enamored with it entirely. But I thought it sounded good, and you're right. It is a lot slower than some of the other ones, so it is kind of more sleepy. But I enjoyed listening to it. But it isn't. It isn't a skip for me, but like the album is too short to have too many skips on it anyway, right? So
yeah. For me, I really like the line that like, is it a safe space to make mates all at once or in installments? Is it a base rate? Devalue their involvement? Is it evolving? Is there a standard to differentiate between the offerings? When you get thrust into a situation, especially like you could, if you want to frame this in the story of the battle rap, the world of battle rap, Amy's trying to figure out who in this new world is going to be her friends, who she can trust. But also like you can also then reframe that with the industry again, or you can take it as just like kind of a relatable thing where you like, it's tough to make friends. You want to have lots of friends, but also like it's tough to give yourself up immediately. But also you don't want to like, basically, it's tough to make friends, and it's tough to know who's going to be worth your time, who might burn you, stuff like that. And I think it's really, really clever. The way he frames it around, like with banking metaphors, is so clever and such a different way that I didn't. When I listened to it at first, I was like, "What is he talking about?" And then I was like, "That's really a cool way of like it's investing in yourself in a sense, right?" Trying to find good friends, good people that will bring you up and not bring you down. It's cool. It's just and another. Now I'm just realizing the other angle of the Bigfoot metaphor of feeling isolated, of people seeing you, but you're not like
a mythical being.
Exactly, and you're being. It's just like, oh, I just love how I can dig into this album and keep finding more and more.
I did like the line
Threads.
about it being like he wish he could wear a mask like Daft Punk. I like that. That was a good line. And then the next line's really good too, where he's like people like him, but they're not putting a signature on his cast.
Waiting on my break with no signatures on my cast.
Yeah.
Good double entendre. Great. Lupe thinks.
Got that big juicy brain.
Then we get into outside, like talking like a William Shatner there.
I think that this, so the hook here is kind of weird. It's very jilted in its delivery. It's like kind of fragmented, like, wait for me outside. But to me, it kind of feels like somebody kind of either gritting through their emotions or perhaps distracted by a situation that they don't want a loved one to be a part of. Or that, like, I think this is a reference to another thing in her life, another moment in the documentary where she was getting picked up by the producer. I can't remember his name. We said it earlier. But she was like about to leave a party, and it was like
Salam. What's his name?
Yeah.
Remy.
Yeah.
I just want to talk about the line judging quality like Australian airports. That's a koala tea.
Oh.
It made me chuckle when I read.
Quality.
Like
what's an Australian airport?
Yeah, he's at a gift shop. He's getting a koala tea. Quality,
my god!
tea.
Yes.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, this is another slower jam, but I prefer it to Bigfoot. I like how it's darker in vibe, and it's like stepping outside after the rap battle, and then the feelings about that. I don't know. I don't really have a whole lot to say. I like the hook. I just like how it's slower and darker versus just kind of slower and
slower and slower.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, this feels like it's kind of like the end of the story for Amy. The wait from outside, I'll be gold. Put him on hold. I'll be there in a minute. But I don't know if she ever really returns, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's kind of, because this is kind of like talking about how, like, she succeeded. She's talking to all these people on her way out of the club, and then the last verse switches from her kind of everyone being like, wow, you're so amazing, to the person of like, I didn't forget about you, I'm coming, I'm sorry I'm late.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to struggle, and that can be almost seen as like, I think you could read it as her talking to herself.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Of like being like, I didn't forget about you, I'm coming, I know that I need me, but I'm caught up in the fame, I'm caught up in everything, it's so hard to get away from it. And then obviously she tragically passes away. I don't know if that's exactly how it goes in this story in the album.
Yeah, I assume that they're still talking to someone else because, like, sending mixed messages like dyslexic texts, you don't really send mixed messages to yourself.
I think you do if you're troubled.
Maybe I'm just not troubled. Like, it's hashtag gifted. And get socially indebted to be a managed to carry on. I like this idea of, like, you know, like you said, she's achieved popularity outside, talking to people, just trying to leave, talking to people. Wait for me, I'll be there. Trying to get out, talking to people. And again, feeling like you're socially indebted to go through these conversations, to go through these repeated things over and over and over again, trying to communicate with this partner or to yourself about your needs, and things getting mixed up because, again, you're just like overwhelmed with everything. And then, I'm calm, I'm finished is how the song ends.
And then we get to Till Eternity, which has these kind of big, huge piano chords.
It's lovely. There's
Beautiful,
like jazzy
beautiful.
drums in the intro too. Unfortunately, they don't stay through the whole thing, but really like it. The echoing vocals in the chorus, the more relaxed vibe where Lupe just gets to go off and flex on his opponents one last time about how easy it was to beat them and how he's going to continue rapping forever. Lovely end to the album.
Yeah.
Liked it. I liked it quite a bit, actually. It's a really nice end to the album.
And also some of the most, this is where I was saying, like, you look at the Genius annotations and they're like paragraphs long. Some of these really dense, symbolic, like this album, you need to like read, reading up on like Amy Winehouse and on Lupe Fiasco watching interviews, you really are going to be able to string apart the depths here. One of the sections was Dad was the Black Mass Oyama. Karate stance, put hands on the Brahma, do not cook. I remember the boiling pot from which the Rock took is like 7 layers. It's like Dad was the Black Mass Oyama. Was a martial arts instructor for 40 years. Likens him to Matsutatsu Oyama, the founder of Koyakushin Karate. I've lost my place on the page. Put hands on the Brahma. The Brahma is a Hindu god. Is a Hindu god with many hands. Some animals, most notably cows, which are forbidden for human consumption. So you have do not cook, put hands on the Brahma. But also, Dwayne The Rock Johnson was also called the Brahma Bull, and also says, "Do you smell what The Rock is cooking?"
It's burgers.
And it's also a reference to how crack is, like the damage that crack cocaine has done to communities, as well as a reference to his dad doing the thing of grabbing boiling rocks out of a pot. It's like crazy to have all of that density and meaning and lyricism and references in like 3 bars. It's like incredibly poetic. He also then like references the Bill of Rights in TED Talks Meet the TARDIS before it all started. It's thrown in a Bill and Ted reference casually that he maintains for like the rest of it. That's also a throwback, because when he goes about the Wild Stallions is also a reference to The Rock, which because the movie Wild Stallions had a song called Those Who Rock, and it's also a reference to the band that Bill and Ted are in. Like the just the density and the thought that goes into the single verse is crazy.
It's almost MF Doom levels of
referential
material.
It's crazy where it's like you just gotta know, apparently. And then obviously this is through these crazy smooth flows, super laid back delivery, great vocals. What if we were at the end of the chorus? He asks, "What if we were dancers and we didn't have any answers, but life gave us the things that we could see. We could be you and me till eternity."
Yeah, he's a nerd. He's not afraid. There's Enterprise references. There's Doctor Who references. This guy he watches TV.
Just like MF Doom.
Yeah. Reference to his old name, which I think is fun. It's cool. It's a cool song.
I think it's a great ending track. Caps the whole project off in a beautiful way that reflects both on Lupe's position as a rapper in the industry, as well as a beautiful kind of way to cap off this surprisingly heartfelt and beautiful tribute to Amy Winehouse.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the record itself. I bought the normal version. There's nothing special about it. It's on black vinyl. On the cover, though, you get a really cool drawing of Lupe Fiasco as a samurai.
Mm-hmm.
I really love the art style. It reminds me kind of the like wood block art.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
The forms that you see, like, they're very popular in Japan. Well, it was popular. I don't know enough about Japanese history to talk about this and sound intelligent. Mm-hmm. But, the famous Japanese wood block paintings. It's also kind of got that anime style with these, like, cool strike lines. It says samurai in the bottom right corner. On the back, we see another angle of Lupe as the samurai. Another cool picture. This time he's holding kind of a flag that's going above him that's a little torn. Again, a lot of meaning in that. Samurai. And then in the bottom it says the track listing, Samurai Lupe Fiasco. You got some credits, and yeah, it was. I don't know. I got it for like $32 or something on Amazon, which is about the price that records go for these days. Sound wise, I spun it. Sounds pretty good. I would not say it's anything special. It's not bad. It's a good pressing. Yeah. I'm happy to have this one in my collection. I think it's a fun one to put on. It's an easy one to put on. I will say that it does suck when it's 30 minutes, that you have to flip it like every 15. Mm-hmm. But c'est la vie.
Mm-hmm.
C'est la vie indeed. Well, I'll give my final verdict. What a pleasant surprise this album was. From the concept, I figured it'd be over the top and heavy-handed, but instead I got an easy to listen to album that explores the rise and fall of performers, the struggle to understand changing genres, and ghosts that force you to rap. Immediately after finishing my notes, I ordered myself a copy of the album, and I'm excited to put it on for people when I have company over, as it is truly such a fun sound that I think like 90% of people will enjoy, or at least not mind. I'm putting Samurai by Lupe Fiasco in the 9th spot, below Band on the Run by Paul McCartney's and Wings, and above Pet Sounds by Beach Boys. This is truly fantastic, and I definitely recommend to listen, whether you're an Amy Winehouse fan or not. Jamie, what do you think?
I was also pleasantly surprised by this album. I genuinely enjoyed listening to it, and I think it's a good listen. I rated it a little lower than you did, but that was because we listened to so many great albums this year. I put it in the 25 spot, just above, just above Dookie by Green Day, and just below Demon Days by the Gorillaz. I think it's worth a listen. I think everyone should give it a shot, even if perhaps rap is in your genre. It's smooth, very smooth. Adam?
Yeah. Well, I brought this album on because I thought it was a chill time. I was really glad that both of you guys enjoyed it. I think it's a great album to sink your teeth into if you're someone who is looking for lyrical rap. If you're someone who just wants that lo-fi vibe, something that you can put on any time of year, to just chill to. You can get that, but it's also an album that will reward you should you want to sink your teeth into it. I don't think nothing on the album, like no tracks on here I'm like, wow, but a lot of the lyricism is so great, and I think it's really worth checking out, especially if you got just 31 minutes that are free. Put it on. I think there's a lot to love here. I agree with Jamie. There's been so many good albums this year, so it feels weird putting it this low on the list because I really spoke highly of this record the entire podcast. But for me, it's going in the 22nd spot, below Weezer's Blue Album and above Joey Valence and Bray's No Hands.
Isn't it beautiful that we have such different tastes in music?
Yeah,
it sure is.
Like, I don't know where the Blue Album is for me, but it's got to be
bottom
30.
10. Yeah,
really.
30, 40.
Blue albums, I've
You
really
know
like
what
that
though? In
Blue
the context of all the other albums we listened to, that's probably not. It's not terribly offensive.
almost everything above this. For me, like if I'm gonna rank these out of 10 on my list, 9s are starting at like 20, like 21. Like this is almost a 9 for me. This album.
Wow.
9 for me is like 12.
Oh, okay, sure, yeah, fair enough.
Blue Album, for reference, is 44. I would say I did not enjoy I'd say like this was a very high highs, very mid-mids.
Sure.
And there's a couple absolute just bombs.
I think
absolute stinkers. I've actually convinced people. They listened to the AC/DC episode and they're like, I went back and listened to the album and yeah, it's not good.
Well, Black and Black. I mean, that's different than the Blue Album.
It also stinks.
I think I don't think that
No,
the
Blue Album is not anywhere near as bad as Back in Black.
I agree.
Yes.
100% agree with that statement. That's something we could all agree on.
Yeah.
So if you want more thoughts on what we're thinking about the albums that we've already listened to, tune in next week. We're gonna go through the season as it was.
Yeah, it's
Re-rank
we're
things.
re-ranking.
It's the end of the year.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. We'll re-rank this season, so we'll go through our lists top to bottom so you can hear what they are all in one. We're also going to talk about our top 10 of all seasons. We've given Adam a list of all the seasons we did as well, so he can try to think of the albums we've covered and what his top 10 of all time would be. Maybe, I'm not going to add a stretch goal. No promises. Maybe there'll be a bottom 10. Because I can tell you right now, Stranger Heads Prevail would be bottom 3.
That's insulting and crazy.
Dope Smoker by Sleep, also an Adam pick. would
Also
be bottom
crazy
10.
that you put Dope Smoker down there. If you
My aim is true. Bottom 3 for sure.
That's the Elvis Costello album.
I don't know. Vessel might be bottom 3 instead of Elvis Costello.
Vessel
picks.
maybe
Sweet,
one of
this
the
all
is
the
this
way
is all
down.
this is. If you want to hear more of this kind of debate, we're gonna get emotional. We're gonna get angry.
He's going to put Our Lady Peace down just to spite me.
Vessel may be one of the worst albums I've ever listened to.
100%. But we'll talk more about that next week. So we'll re-rank. We'll talk about top and bottom of all time. We'll talk about the whole year. What's next? We'll find out. But for our aftercare question, what's your what's I think we maybe did this before, but it might have been years ago. What was your favorite concept album?
Oh, geez. Well, I don't know. Technically, "Wish You Were Here" is a concept album.
I mean, that's pretty clear. Yeah.
Yeah, and so
Dark
is
Side of the Moon.
Dark Side of the Moon.
Moon's
and
got
so-
two concepts on it though.
I mean, like at a certain point, Pink Floyd just started being a concept album band because Dark Side of the Moon starts it off. Then you get into Wish You Were Here, you get Animals. Then you get
Wall. Yeah, they're all
The Wall, which is just a concept. Yeah.
Best concept album. Best concept album.
American Idiot.
No.
No, it's a good concept. I mean, I really like Tommy, but like I'm not a huge fan of it. Jeez, I don't.
Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust.
Oh, great
That's
album.
Actually, yeah, that's up
very
there.
loose concept.
No, it's
yeah.
not. That's pretty solid.
It's-
That's like pretty
It's
consistent.
pretty conceptual. It's like it's not a narrative.
It
It's a
almost
co-
is though,
it's
because
concept,
there's
though.
an alien coming,
Yeah,
They're
it's like
here,
at the start an alien
and
arrives.
now he's
he
a
rocks,
celebrity.
He plays some rock and roll.
but then he dies, and the last couple songs.
Well, the
are
fans
only kind
murder
of-
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
yeah,
great.
but like it's. I would say like it's not.
If you're saying that,
No,
all
no,
these
I'm
Pink
saying
Floyd
it's a
ones
concept
are,
album
is-
for
I would
sure.
say it's
I'm just saying that
heavily
like
narrative.
you got to be some concept albums don't require narrative.
That one just happens to have one.
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, you can have a concept album that is just topic.
I mean, Sgt. Pepper's is a good album. Yeah, it's a very
Okay, I wouldn't
Like-
call Rolling Stone as Kid A as a concept album. I don't think that's a concept album.
jeez. We're going through this list. There's a Riot Going On is not a concept album.
Would
Favorite best albums that have concepts.
yeah, I was gonna say like if anything just has a concept, I Love You, Honey Bear has a concept, which is
Certainly.
my life before I met my wife.
Yeah. I really liked Lola versus Power Man.
That wasn't bad. That wasn't bad.
That's probably one of my favorite concept albums. We talked about a number of them, right? So like in season 1 we talked about the Who live album they play through Tommy. Tommy is like the prime example when you consider because it was the first rock opera, right? So
Is In the Airplane Over the Sea a concept album?
Yeah, it's how he met his wife Anne Frank,
What?
because he's married to Anne Frank. You've never seen that before?
Oh, how he met his wife. I think he said how he met his wife and a Frank.
No, Anne Frank.
Yeah. Ooh.
To Pimp a Butterfly?
I mean, To Pimp a Butterfly is probably up
How's that a
there.
concept album?
I would say it's not a concept album either. I think
It's just political.
it's very political, but it covers a lot of ground. I'd say Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers is more of a concept album.
That
Good
sounds
Kid, Mad
good.
City is for sure a concept album, and that might be one of the best concept albums of all time. Because Good Kid, Mad City takes place over the course of one evening.
Oh, interesting.
I'll never listen to it, but that sounds cool.
Oh, actually, you know what? Illinois by Sufjan
Sufjan
Stevens.
Stevens, yeah.
It's probably my favorite concept album.
David
of
gave
all
me
time.
that album. He gave me a Christmas gift one year, and it was.
He gave me
that-
Carrie and Lowell.
Oh, interesting.
I never listened to it. I should.
We should have David on so we can talk about both those albums.
I mean,
Or
I
one
will
of them.
bring on Illinois at some point for sure. But if we want to save it for a guest, I guess.
Okay.
I'm going to put down Illinois by Sufjan Stevens as my favorite concept
I
album.
gotta do Ziggy Stardust. What's yours, Jamie?
Let's go with Lola. That was fun. I listened to that album regularly.
Wow. What's your answer, listener or viewer? I guess if you're on YouTuber. If you're on YouTuber, leave a comment. Let us know. Rate us 5 stars. Tune in next week for the last episode of the season.
How is Balls Boutique in the bottom 10 of season 1?
It's too long.
so
They hate your
good.
mom. Let's talk more about it next week. Adam can react to the list, and I see mine, because Jamie didn't keep a list the first 2 seasons.
No.
So only I have a list. He can see it and react. Bye.